everybody, Finn here from Double Tap Gamers, and today I want to talk to you about the game called The Forest. Now, it's an indie game developed by Endnight Games, who have kindly provided me a copy of it for me to be able to review it, and for you to all see what the game is all about. Now, it is a survival horror game based around an open world, which is actually living, and everything can be interacted. Now, that's really great, but the downside of it is the world isn't safe, guys. The world's not safe at all. There is a group of cannibalistic mutants who basically want to kill you and eat you. Now, that gives you the whole edge factor, the whole kind of, you're constantly looking over your shoulder all the time, which is great. Now, the footage which you're seeing at the moment is just me playing the game. To give you a rough idea, so you can see in the background kind of what I am talking about at the same time. Now, the elements of the game which kind of I really love about it. Now, keep this in mind, this was crafted by 4 people. It was actually made by 4 people. And the game itself is still in early alpha. So having an alpha which looks like this is great, because a lot of these features which they've got in the foliage, the whole animals kind of coming from the ground, and everything seems to have a place and a purpose. You don't usually see that until you get AAA titles, which was really, let's think of the word to put it. It was really kind of overwhelming when I went in the world. I was kind of like, whoa, this is well made, you know, and I like that aspect of it. Now, the whole crafting side of its things is great. There is few issues and stuff, and we will go on to that further down the line, but the fact that you can cut down a tree and you can build a log cabin because you need somewhere to stay tonight, because once nighttime comes, it becomes very, very scary and kind of on edge. You've got to be kind of having eyes from all corners of the bloody earth. So you can go out and, like, say, you can go out in the forest and you can explore these kind of caves. Now, the caves have fast caves on the ground. They have like mutants in it and stuff, so you've got to be really, really careful. Now, the fact if you stand still, a bird will actually come and fly and sit on your hand, kind of like Disney's Little Princess, maybe we'll say that. But them sort of aspects I really like. The fact that you can grab a stick, you can go into the water with a stick, and you can stab a fish, get that fish, take it back to your campfire, and you can cook it. Now, you can be fully customizable in relation to your house. You can, like say, you can start off with, you'll build a hunting shelter. You have a bucket to kind of guide you along the ways. It asks you to build a mini little hunting shelter, which allows you to save your game. I believe the bug which they had for the fixing has now been fixed. So that allows you to save the game. You then can build a campfire where you've got a lighter, and you've got to keep making a campfire, because once nighttime comes, that's it. That's where you're going to go and cook. But you can go out and you can go and find food. You can break open a travel bag with a rock, which is locked, and get the contents out of it. You can then explore other campsites, because there's not just yourself who's kind of on this island. There is remains of tents which have been set up, which has vast amount of resources. So the fact that you can walk around to keep yourself alive is great. Now, what I also did like, and it reminded me of a lot of other games, was the fact that you've got to constantly look at your hunger, your stamina, and your temperature. So you've got to find food. You can't just stand there and just build. You've got to physically go out, and I like that aspect. It's going to push you into that world, making you want to explore that whole entire world, just so you can survive. But what gets kind of scary at the time is the fact that the cannibals are constantly watching you. Now, they've got this nice feature, the cannibals have. The AI still needs tweaking, and like I say, we're going to cover that at the end of the video. The AI still needs slight tweaking, but they can hide in trees. So you're cutting down a tree and there could be a cannibal up top who will jump down to get you. Now, another aspect about the game which is good is the fact that if you die, it will eventually go to game over. But first of all, if the cannibals do catch you for the first time, they'll knock you down and kill you. They will drag you up and you will wake up inside the cave, where basically other dead bodies you'd have caught for food are actually hanging up in the cave. And the cave's really, really freaky and eerie, and it's pretty much dark, and you do manage to find a flare gun, and the flare gun's pretty much one kill these cannibals because it sets them on fire. But it's got that whole, it's very eerie. You know, you see the reflection of the water on the rocks, and it's dark, and you'll see a cannibal, they'll jump down, and they're in the caves with you. So you've got to kind of survive, and you've got to kind of tactically kill them to basically get out. Now, the fact that it's got all these features, and the price of the game is really cheap, is great. It's very promising. Like I say, at the moment it is an alpha, It's no way yet complete. So you can get the alpha through Steam, which is great. And the fact that you have all these features, you can build traps, you can build your own house, put a wall up, you can build this big log cabin if you wish. You can go and look for berries, you can cut down every tree, you can kill every animal in the game. And that whole aspect it's fantastic. So the only few things, the downside of things, which I noticed when I was playing the game was, now, the AI of the cannibals kind of aren't fully right yet, but like I say once again, it is alpha. And I know that is getting changed down the line. Because the cannibals at the moment take quite a lot. Now, when I swung an axe at a cannibal, you would think if you hit an axe in the head, that would be it, you know, you kind of be dead. But they've got kind of the working groups. Now, if you get overrun, if you get surrounded, try to pick one at a time, because otherwise they will kill you. But the other slight thing is, the game at the moment is quite easy to play. You can go out in the water and you see a lot of fish. Instead of the fish kind of swimming away from you, they'll just stand there, allow you to stick a fork straight through them. So, them sort of aspects I know do need to be tweaked. And there is, like I say, there is a few issues at the moment in relation to the audio, which I've noticed, I picked up on. The music will kick in randomly. And you don't really know about the cannibals. The cannibals' kind of sound doesn't really work at the moment. You know, they can stand there and they will totally watch you from a distance. As soon as you get off the plane, when I played it for the third time, they were actually already at the plane side. So as soon as I walked out, I died. Because I don't know if it's something to do with the pathing system, but the pathing system, like I say, it just needs a slight few tweaks. And the birds itself, I feel like there's too many birds, to be fair. Now, the birds, as you can see, when we were walking around, I was building a campsite, and there was absolutely loads of seagulls. Now, I love the seagulls. I love the addition of them in the game. That is great. It makes it feel like I say, it just makes you feel that the world is alive and breathing. But there is too many. Now, they might be getting turned down a bit. And the flare gun, the ability to be able to get a flare gun and shoot a cannibal, basically kills him in one hit. Maybe that might need to be tweaked a bit, because I feel like, say at the moment, I feel like it is a bit too easy. But for what the game offers, it is a fantastic game. I've got no problems. I enjoy playing it, and I will play more of it and get more into it. And I will continue providing feedback to Endnight Games in relation to kind of what I feel like should be tweaked. But let's say if you're looking for a survival game this year, this is definitely one to keep your eyes on. I've enjoyed it, like I say, I've enjoyed playing it, and it has a lot of things which over time are going to be added. Now, I know eventually they're going to add, and they have mentioned that they will be bringing multiplayer co-op, so you can play this with your friends, and that'll be fantastic, because if you're in a group and the cannibals in a group, you stand a better chance. But another time, you can incorporate the whole teamwork. And I know they are going to add a lot more creatures in, because there was a turtle that came up to me, and I killed the turtle. And that was it, the turtle was dead. I couldn't really take the shells, so I don't know if they're going to add new crafting recipes into the game. But the fact that things are going to be introduced along the course of the alpha is fantastic. So, my opinion basically would be, if you definitely want a survival horror game, which has some great elements, such as the crafting side of things and the survival side, for an alpha at the stage it is, they do it brilliantly. I've got no issues whatsoever. Only other suggestion I would say would probably be to put more people on the plane, because when you're in the plane and the plane goes down to crash, you can't help think, well, we could have just kind of cut out the whole plane. I know it needs to be put in there for the story, but we could have kind of cut it out, because you know, you're sitting there, you're not panicking or anything like that. The child who's next to you just kind of takes it and just crashes and gets carried off, you know. But other than that, like I say, the graphics are great, the gameplay is great. You know, it just needs tweaking slightly, like the swinging of the axe. It would be nice to be able to hold down left click while hitting a tree, instead of having to click every time to swing. That would be a nice addition if we could have that incorporated. But nonetheless, it's a great game. So I hope I've done the review justice. I hope you guys get a kind of an idea of what the forest is now. And like I said, definitely worth adding to your wish list, and definitely worth putting to your collection. You won't be disappointed. And like I said, the game's going to constantly develop as the time comes, which I kind of like that. You have as much feedback and input into this game as everybody else. And like I say, as the course goes on, things will be added, so the game will just continue getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the fact that it is open world, you can never go wrong. So, there it is, guys. Definitely go and try the forest. It is definitely worth it. So, Until next time, I will see you, stay safe, and thanks for watching another review. See you later.
Begins again.